unfortunately, the most important thing I did, which was to sign that health care bill, was screwed up by Weld. So we only got a couple of pieces of it. The student mandate was in that bill. Health insurance for people laid off who qualify for unemployment compensation was in that bill. So those were implemented. The rest of it wasn't. When I entered the Massachusetts legislature in 1962, I was doing so in one of the 3 or 4 most corrupt states in the country. That was Massachusetts. Sounds hard to believe, but it was. So the overriding issue when I was first elected to legislative office was, how do we clean this mess up? People getting indicted every week by the Massachusetts Crime Commission. And that was a lot of what we were doing in the 1960s. And we did it. Of course, it's nice to be governor and then be in a position to really put some heft into this. So that was clearly, just cleaning the place up, giving it setting high standards of integrity, giving it a reputation for both competence and integrity. In terms of policies, look, the work we did to try to revive our older urban communities stands out for me. I can't go up to Lowell these days without smiling broadly, because I remember the Lowell, walking around in the slush in Lowell in 1975. You had to be a person of faith to believe that you could bring that community back. It was brutal. And the same was true of Haverhill and of Lawrence, of New Bedford and Fall River and this kind of stuff. So that was very, very important. The T was a basket case when I first became governor. A basket case. Look at it today. Now, needs some support financially, but I don't think there's any question we've got one of the best public transportation systems in the country, and it's had an enormous amount to do with creating this kind of renaissance in Boston. So that was important. We did a ton of things, and by the way, great fun. There's nothing like it. That's the other thing. You've got so many talented people in the state who want to do public service that any governor that can't attract the best isn't looking. Now, they got to want to work for you. They got to believe that this is going to be real and they'll be challenged and stuff. But
and in terms of what you said about Lawrence and Lowell and Fall River, during your administration, reinventing what you can do in a mill and turn around a city.
Yep.
Do you see a bright future now
for Massachusetts? Without a doubt. I think Deval has done a great job. I think we feel good about ourselves. There's no question that we're on a path for growth. Our unemployment rate is substantially lower than national average and doing all kinds of stuff. I walk around the city and there are nothing but cranes all over the place. So Boston is going to become very much a residential hub, which I think is terrific. Now, we've got to be providing some affordable housing for folks that can't pay $1 million for a condo. And that's important. But we've done that in the past. We've been able to do that. When I was governor, we were doing about 6,000 to 7,000 units of affordable housing every year. We're not anywhere near that now. I want to get back to that. But, as you know, I ride the T everywhere, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's so easy. And if you're a senior citizen, relatively inexpensive. I say it's the best value in America.
In terms of Romney and Obama, their wives being such an exceptional surrogate for them in any presidential race. And
yep.
Your wife Kitty's family is very philanthropic, involved with Tanglewood
and
Boston Symphony Orchestra. How was that, having someone?
Look, I've often said if she had run, she'd have won on a walk. She was great. The kids were great. My father-in-law, God love him, one of the great people, and associate conductor of the Pops and all that kind of stuff. He was out there all over the country for me. My mother, 85, campaigning hard. So, some great moments. Unfortunately, I blew it in the end. Too bad. As I say to people, I owe you all an apology. If I'd beaten Bush 1, you'd never heard of Bush 2, we wouldn't be in this mess. So, blame me. But notwithstanding, I mean, it's an incredible experience, and I've been blessed. I mean, with the life I've led, and now being in a position to teach young people and encourage them to go into public service. I mean, there's nothing like it. And Northeastern is a great place to do that. It will continue to do that if we can interest these young people in becoming first-rate public servants. And that's one of the things we try to do around here. And it's one of the things that co-op helps you to do, because they get real hands-on experience, so they can have a sense in advance. Do they like it or don't they like it? Most of them come away from it liking it. And so I don't think you have to worry about this state's future in terms of the people that are going to serve it. We've got just terrific people. I often said, if the governors appoint judges in this state, I'd have 10 highly qualified judges for every vacancy. So we're blessed with a lot of riches, personal and otherwise.